Hello everybody, Hunter Bakes here, back in the review for y'all. Everybody here with the next video for Hallways to Swarm with everybody. I'll be getting with another review for y'all today here. Although everyone, before I get into today's review, everyone, there is a little bit of an update I do want to get to a little bit here for Hallways to Swarm with everybody. Now everybody, I've been having a lot of fun doing the Hallways to Swarm with everybody, and I've been doing a pretty decent job at, getting out the reviews out for stuff for different movies and stuff like that there this month. But that being said, everyone, I've had a couple of setbacks there, in terms of getting some stuff out there. Something comes up there, and I have to delay a review for a movie there by like 1 day there. Everybody took some time to look at the lists of things I still got to review for Hallways to Swarm with everybody, and everyone, I just want to give you all a quick heads up that today I might not be able to get done with every day I originally had listed for Hallways to Swarm with everybody in terms of reviews there, everyone. So any chance I don't get to finish up everything I had planned for reviews for this year's Hallways to Swarm with everybody, I do apologize in advance there. I will try to get to as many as I can, but there's time still left in October there. But whatever things I don't get to review, the other duration left for this year's Hallways to Swarm with everybody, I will save for next year's. So just want to give you all that quick update before I get to the review wide. So give a little quick heads up, everybody, that if I chance that I don't get to what's left there in terms of reviews, everybody, for this month, do apologize in advance there. And give you a little quick up. I'll make sure let y'all know in advance which thing I'll be reviewing. Will be my last one for this month. Always short with everybody. So yeah. But anyways, everyone, that being said, everyone, well, let's go and jump right into today's review. By that being on Mortal Kombat Legends Battle of the Realms, everybody, the second movie in the straight to video lineup of movies there from Mortal Kombat there. Everybody, last time I reviewed Mortal Kombat Legends Scorpion's Revenge there, and I enjoyed the film there. It wasn't perfect, but I enjoyed it there, and out of the Mortal Kombat films I have reviewed thus far, it's definitely the strongest one I've reviewed out of the Mortal Kombat films I've seen. And it was a good start to the Legends series there. And I was looking forward to seeing what they were going to do for Battle of the Realms there. Everyone, y'all know, before I check things out, do check out like the reception of different movies and whatnot there before I review them there. And well, everyone, for Battle of the Realms, everybody, it seems to have a bit of a mixed reaction, one. Rather mixed to negative reactions, everybody, from different people for checking it out there. So the majority of people agree that it wasn't as good as Swords Revenge there. So that did give me a little bit concerned going into the movie here, but I was optimistic here. I was gonna give the film a fair chance there. So yeah. Recently I had a chance to check out Battle of the Realms, everybody. Now we're here to do a review for y'all. As usual, be over plot summary, pros and cons, and overall thoughts on nature one. So without further ado, let's go right into it, one. First off, plots, everybody. Now, everyone, there are gonna be quite a few things that the film throws in terms of plot wise, everyone. But I'll try to get to summarize them up as much as I can there, everyone. But the main plot for Battle of the Realms, everybody, is continues the events of Swords Avenger by in terms of the aftermath of more comments everybody, where outworlds of the Earth realm there, and both sides are fighting there. Till Raiden shows up there, then eventually Shao Kahn shows up there, and Shao Kahn proposes have another tournament there, a tournament to end it all there, and Raiden agrees to it there in order to make sure that the bloodshed between Outworld and Earthworld come to end there. So they went to the Elder Gods, and the Elder Gods approved of it there, and Raiden wanted to participate in the tournament there, so he sacrifices his status as the God of Thunder to become mortal and be eligible to participate in the tournament. So it's up to Raiden and the Warriors of Earthrealm to fight off against Shao Kahn, his forces of Outworld, in order to determine, the ultimate winner of Mortal Kombat. We do also get followed with Scorpion as Scorpion ends up back in Netherworld there, thanks to Shinnok, who was revived there. And Scorpion fused with the amulet there, which the amulet serves as a key to a door there, which leads to the artifact that Shinnok needs to bring back a being called the One Being, a being powerful enough to devour and destroy all the realms there. And Shinnok offers Scorpion a position as his new sixth man there since he killed Quan Chi, but Scorpion refused there, escaped another realm. So Shinnok ends up hiring the Lin Kuei, the old rival ninja clan of the Shirai Ryu, to go after Scorpion. Although he keeps his identity a secret from them. Well, we do also see focus with Kuai Ling, the second Sub-Zero, and Bihan, first Sub-Zero's younger brother there. And when Kuai Ling is informed that the person they're looking for is Scorpion, he vows to seek revenge for what Scorpion did to his brother. And there's also another thing going on with the Lin Kuei's new cybernetic program there. They created the Cyber Lin Kuei, with the first one being Sector and Cyrax there, so anyway, that's pretty much all the major things going on within the film, everybody. So, there's a plot, whatnot. So, yeah. Now to the pros and cons, everybody. Now, after seeing the movie, everybody, what are overall thoughts, everyone? Everyone, I'm not gonna lie. After seeing the film myself, I can definitely see why a lot of people, felt like this was a step down compared to Scorpion's Revenge here. And I was a little I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit disappointed after the good start with Scorpion's Revenge here. I was a little disappointed how the rails turned out there. Now, granted, there are still some positives there that will acknowledge everybody. First off, of course, everybody, the animation. Animation is on par with Scorpion's Revenge, everybody. Animation looks nice there. Color looks good. Backgrounds look nice. And towards the highlights be the actions, everybody, which do still retain the brutal action that we saw in Scorpion's Revenge there. And in terms of, recreate the action, the gory, brutal action we expect from Mortal Kombat there, the movie does a pretty good job of that for the game, adapting that for the games onto the screen. And there were still characters that had some development there, and were still pretty entertaining there, like Johnny Cage. And we did see, but that's really all I can say about in terms of positives there, pros, everybody, for the movie, down to the cons and cons, everybody. Now, everyone, without a doubt, the biggest problem with Battle Runs, everybody, if y'all did get the hit there for why I did the plot summary there, is that the film has too much stuff, that has too many things going on there. Everyone, in my Scorpion's Revenge, everybody, I did talk about how the film was going a little fast-paced, certain points there, where, where it did kind of affect the story a little bit there, but I kind of let it slide there since, it did a decent job balancing things out in terms of getting focused on Scorpion and his quest for revenge, and Scorpion's Revenge here, as well as getting focused to the Mortal Kombat tournament. But for Battle of the Worlds, everybody, Battle of the Worlds, what it is much worse over there. The film's trying to tell four major things going on there. Like I said, with the tournament with Earthrealm Outworld, when Scorpion tried to stop Shinnok from reviving the One Being, the Sub-Zero and his quest for revenge against Scorpion, and the Cyber Lin Kuei. I mean, that's four different storylines taking place in one movie. And the movie only has about an hour and 19-minute runtime, which is a bit less than what Scorpion's Revenge had. And you can really tell that, they really didn't have much of an idea in terms of overall story to tell, because, the film just mainly focuses on the action there. Barely gives a development for some of the characters there, aside from the ones that appeared in the last film there. But the new characters, and some of the returning characters from the last movie nearby, still fell pretty flat there. Also, everybody, aside from the returning characters such as Scorpion, Liu Kang, Sonya Blade, and Johnny Cage, we don't really get to see much development or get much connection with the new characters there. I mean, for example, Striker by, I mean, the movie doesn't really go much detail about him there. I mean, unless you're a fan of Mortal Kombat there, you're not really gonna know who much. You're really not going to know who Striker is there. About him being a police officer there, stuff like that there. And the film doesn't really explain how he gets tied up with, being part of the different fires with Ray and the others there. Kung Lao, he ends up having a death scene there, in Diane Shao Kahn, their tournament there, but he barely gets a line of dialogue there, and the movie tries to pass off as this very emotional moment there, with him saying that him and Liu Kang were like brothers there and stuff like that, but it just doesn't really hit the mark. I mean, it kind of reminds me of how Kung Lao, it kind of reminds me a little bit how Kulong's death turned out in the 2021 live-action Mortal Kombat film there. But at least the 2020 movie did give some time to have us see a little bit of what Kung Lao and Liu Kang's relationship was like there in the movie there. I don't recall having a major dialogue between Kung Lao and Liu Kang in the movie there, and for Battle of the Realms there. But definitely one of the characters I was very disappointed that really didn't get much of a huge development there by was Katara by, where she ended up showing a little bit in Scorpion's Revenge there. Since there's a little fight between her and Liu Kang there, and Liu Kang spares her there. So that she does have different scenes there, but the film doesn't really dive into much of her character there. Like, for example, film implies that there's a abusive relationship between Shao Kahn and Katana there, but we don't really get to see a interaction with just the two of them there, and showing that abusive relationship there. So when Katana has that turnaround of joining Ray to the others there, it just feels similar to Kung Lao's death. It feels flat, So like I said, the movie tries to tell so many different things of what's everybody. It doesn't give time to let things breathe out and give time for the characters to develop there. The only movie I can compare it to, or I guess had a similar issue with the film being too fast paced there, not really developing much there, so with the story and whatnot. As maybe I reviewed Lightyear earlier this year there, but even Lightyear had times where it slowed down the pacing there. We get to know the characters there, and we still had to see them develop throughout the film there. Get to know them as characters, and the fast paced problems there wasn't really a real issue until closer to the end of the movie. For Battle of the Realms there, it happens periodically throughout the film there. It just makes the overall story and characters feel rather flat to everybody. I mean, they could have easily just focused on at least two major plot points there, similar to how they did things with Scorpion's Revenge there, it would have turned out better than what we actually got. But no, they decided to throw four major storylines into one film there, and it makes the overall story feel rather flat. They could have easily saved the revival of Shinnok there, and his jury taking over the realms and whatnot there for another movie there. And just let the fight between Earthrealm and Outworld, as well as the plot between Scorpion and Sub-Zero, be the main focus of this movie. But that's not what happened there, so yeah. Anyway, that's pretty much it for, pros and cons everybody for Battle of the Realms everybody. Now on to the overall final thoughts of our nature everybody. So overall everybody, after watching Battle of the Realms everybody, I'm not gonna lie, like I said, I was a little disappointed how things turned out there. I really enjoyed how things turned out for Scorpion's Revenge there. While it wasn't a perfect movie there, it was still very enjoyable, and it was a strong start to the Legends series there. But for some reason, the writers, the creative team for for Battle of the Realms already. They just kind of dropped the ball and dropped the momentum there. I mean, while it does still have good animation and great and really good action scenes there, and we do get some entertainment moments and some development with some of the characters there. But that's mainly with the returning cast there for the last that were essential focus the last film there. While the rest of the characters feel pretty flat there, we don't really get to connect much with them there. And the moments that were supposed to be big emotional, triumphant moments there feel rather flat. And with 4 major storylines being told in hour 19 they run to everybody, it turns out the overall story just turns out to be a pretty big mess. Now everyone, Battle of the Realms is not the worst film I reviewed this year by. I still would definitely put this film over some other ones I reviewed this other by, but aside from maybe some hardcore fans of Mortal Kombat everybody, it's going to be really hard to recommend. It's going to be hard to recommend Battle of the Realms for other people everybody, so for everybody, I'll be giving Battle of the Realms a rating there. It just barely gets everybody. It came close to getting a lower rating for me there, everybody, but I have reviewed some other films I consider worse there, like Pokemon Forever and Ice Age, Collision Course, and Adventure Buck Wild there, so which I kind of represent the worst of the films the bottom of the barrel so far this year for films I reviewed thus far. But Battle of the Realms is definitely going to be up there as one of the weaker films I reviewed this month, everybody. So, yeah. Where my other pretty much things up for this review, everybody. Next time, everybody, where we conclude look through the Mortal Kombat Legends series, everybody, with the latest film of the franchise, that being Snowblind. So, hopefully, things will pick back up. Hopefully, things will pick back up after the disappointment that was Battle of the Realms Episode 1. So, I'll wait to see when I get a chance to check out everybody. But tell everyone I wrap things up for now. If you like saw here, make sure you like button, new channel, subscribe, bell, share icon, and most includes. I'll see you next time. To the Sir Bank, say out. Peace.